How we doing, Heat Nation? Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Happy Thursday, everybody. Weekend's around the corner, so I know a lot of us are feeling great. Gave y'all the Ultimate Warrior shirt yesterday, so I had to show y'all the Hulkamania shirt this time. So, take it in, man. Now look, y'all, before we get started, don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys. Would really appreciate everybody's support. I know Heat fans right now are upset, sad, panicking. You can use anything you want. Because we lost again last night to the Denver Nuggets. The Heat lose 100-88, losing 4 straight, bringing our record to 35-30, just digging us in a deeper hole in this 8th seed. Now the good news is the Miami Heat are still like 3.5 games above Chicago for the 9th seed, but it doesn't matter. Because when you're in seeds 7 through 10, you will be a part of the play-in tournament. And we've discussed this many times, y'all. The Miami Heat just got to get out of that play-in tournament situation. You don't want to play extra games. Especially as much minutes as Jimmy Butler's been playing lately, we need him come April, May, and possibly June. But last night, man, I think the Heat just blew it. You know, Denver's a different animal. Denver's a different animal. You know what they get from Nikola Jokic. You know what they get from Jamal Murray. But last night, the Heat were able to contain that. Jokic only gives you 12 points on 5 for 8 shooting. Murray only gives you 14 points from 5 for 14 shooting. But then you get killed by Michael Porter Jr., 25 points. Then Aaron Gordon, the guy that kicked our ass in the NBA Finals, steps up again. 16 points, 8 rebounds, 6 for 11 shooting. I understand that Heat fans are going to look at this and they're going to go, with this loss and the fact that we're 2-14 against some of the top teams in the NBA, 0-8 against the top 7 teams in the NBA, you look at those records and you think, man, the Heat aren't just going to be able to do this. The Heat are not going to win an NBA championship. It's just not going to happen this year. I'm a firm believer that in a 7-game series, this Miami Heat roster can beat anyone. You see games like this and it looks bad. Well, we saw the same thing last year. But it's a year later. I don't want to say, oh, look at last year. You know, we're going to do that again. Chances are we won't. The Heat blew it in the 4th quarter yesterday. You know, they were staying afloat. They actually caught the lead in the 3rd quarter. 4th quarter, they caught a lead as well. And then Reggie Jackson just bust their ass. He hit 7 straight points in the last 3 minutes of the game. You know, Denver just finds a way to win. They're an incredible team with an incredible coach. And when Miami plays against Denver, they just match up terribly against them. Now, Erik Spoelstra did give some questionable calls from the referees. Jimmy Butler only goes 2 for 2. I just think this was a bad night in the office for the Miami Heat because nobody stepped up. Our best player last night was Bam Adebayo. He gives you 17 points and 13 rebounds. He scored 9 of those in the 4th quarter. He was really busting his ass and trying in the 4th quarter. Jimmy Butler gives you 15 points, 6 for 16 shooting. That's not Hemi mode. 2 for 2 for the free throw line. They had KCP on Jimmy. KCP is an all-NBA defensive player this season. You know, he was doing a really good job on Jimmy Butler. The stat line shows. You get 11 points from Duncan Robinson, 1 for 6 in the field. You get 14 points from Terry Rozier. All of these guys are a negative. You get 3 points from Nikola Jokic. You get 9 points from Caleb Martin. 9 surprising points by Thomas Bryant. 14 minutes off the bench. I think Thomas Bryant, with his 9 points and 6 rebounds last night with only 14 minutes, is another standout. Jaime Jaquez gives you a bad game with 8 points. There's only 2 guys in the Miami Heat roster that on a plus-minus average showed as a plus. And that was Nikola Jokic and Patty Mills. Now, before the game, you guys, we got what I feel was even a huger injury update from Tyler Herro. Now, if you guys didn't see it, I posted a video yesterday talking about Tyler Herro because he hasn't come back from injury. The Heat have kept everything close to the cup. They're not announcing anything. Spoke just gives vague responses. Yesterday, Anthony Chang, the Miami Heat beat writer, asked Erik Spoelstra how Tyler Herro looking. And he said, a very basic response. He's progressing. He's working towards getting better, and that's it. He said the same thing about Tyler Herro last year with the broken hand. When Tyler Herro first broke his hand, everybody was led to believe that it would be a 4-week return. We were getting closer. You would see Tyler on the court, but they wouldn't really hold anything. They wouldn't really say anything. We thought Tyler was going to make it back in the NBA Finals. When we got to the finals against the Nuggets, we thought, oh my God, we're going to be able to take it to them because we're going to have a fresh Tyler Herro. He never came back. Spo's doing the same thing. The Miami Heat's doing the same thing, which tells me it's possible that you guys, that Tyler Herro may be out indefinitely. Now, there's no report stating that. It's just a gut feeling that I have. Because why would the Miami Heat hold these news so close? Now, I'm hoping and I'm praying, you guys, the Miami Heat are just saving Tyler Herro for the playoffs, or maybe just holding him out longer just to make sure he doesn't get injured again. This is his third injury this season, so you want to make sure this guy is ready for the playoffs. We got 17 games left. As long as we get out of the play-in with Tyler Herro in this roster, I think it's going to be perfect. I think this Miami Heat team can do some damage in the playoffs. I feel that Tyler Herro needs to come off the bench, especially coming back from injury. Now, there's one thing I want to talk about on this channel, you guys, and I know the news about Tyler Herro wasn't the greatest, but I got to give props to my boy Trent over there at Miami Heat Network. For those of you that didn't see our last roundtable video, he called into question Erik Spoelstra's coaching. And me, you guys, I call Spo the best coach in the NBA, but at the end of the day, he is human, and he makes mistakes. One of the mistakes that we were all agreeing on was the fact that he's playing Patty Mills over Delon Wright. Now, I posted a video about Patty Mills that in his first 2 games with Miami Heat, he was averaging 10 points, doing nice. But then he gives you 2 points the game after that, and last night, coming off the bench, he gives you 2 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. 0 for 3 from the three-point line. Now, I like how Patty Mills was playing out there. He was a speedster, getting to his spots. Unfortunately, he missed those threes. You're going to live and die with those. But I saw a lineup out there by Spo that made me question. He put at the back, at the point guard and shooting guard position, Terry Rozier and Patty Mills against the Denver Nuggets. You have a 6'5" Delon Wright, who's a combo guard, right there in your bench to play. I don't understand why Erik Spoelstra is playing Patty Mills over Delon Wright. The only reason why that I can think, you guys, is because he's trying to get Patty acclimated in this team, because Erik Spoelstra knows with Patty Mills' experience, he may need him for a game or 2 in the NBA playoffs. You saw it with the Nuggets, you guys. There were guys that stepped up last year that you never even heard their name. Christian Brown, one game gave him 15 points off the bench and helped them win a victory. It's like I told you guys. Role players can win you games sometimes. You got to pick the right ones. I think Erik Spoelstra is just kind of like flipping players, seeing who works. I think there's something in practice he's seeing with Patty Mills over Delon Wright, but Delon Wright gives you defensive presence. Patty does not. I think Spo's playing Patty because of the experience, but also because he's a three-point shooter. And we need that out there. We're ranked very low offensively. So I really don't know what it is, you guys. I would prefer Delon Wright playing, but I want to hear from you guys. Who do you prefer out there playing as a backup point guard-ish? Patty Mills or Delon Wright? That to me is an interesting question, y'all. So definitely give props to my boy Trent over there at Miami Heat Network. That was a good point that he made recently. And I think that we're going to be fine, you guys. We got 17 games left in the season. We got a back-to-back coming up against Detroit. Miami needs to win both games. We need to get ourselves out of this 8th seed slump. And the only way that we're going to do that is compile some wins. Now, what sucks is I feel Jimmy Butler is trying to play that playoff Jimmy mode much earlier than he normally does, which is great because that's what we need. The greatest do that. So we need Jimmy Butler to step up in a certain level because he only has a few more years left of this. So we need Jimmy Butler to be that guy. So I want to know what you think, Heat fans, about that loss last night. Are you guys hitting the panic mode right now? Or are you like me thinking we're just going to be fine as long as we're healthy? What do you guys think about Tyler Herro? Do you think he's done for the year? Or do you think the Heat are just saving him for when it comes to playoff time? close towards the end of the season. And let me know what you guys think about this Patty Mills, Delon Wright debate. Who do you prefer playing out there come playoff time for spot minutes as a backup point guard? Thank you so much for your time, you guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate y'all's support. Until next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Let's go Heat.